Many of you, my listeners as well as my readers, keep asking me this question, which is how to get published in India. That is, how to publish a book. And often I give different suggestions based on different requirements, but inevitably I end up recommending this book called How to Get Published in India, written by Meghna Pant. The idea is not to promote a book or an author in this platform, but just that I find it really helpful, especially those writers who are completely new to this publishing industry or to the experience of writing itself. I think this book is of great help. So the author has divided this book in different sections. In the first section, she talks about writing, how to write and structure your book. In the second section, she talks about publishing, the various processes of publishing, editing, how to reach out to publishers and literary agents. And the third part is after publishing, what do you do? How do you market? How do you sell your book? And in the fourth section, there are a number of essays written by popular writers, and which will give you a good idea about the publishing scenario in India and elsewhere. So I thought I would share certain information from the book rather. I would share it with you, and through that you would get some idea about Indian publishing industry. So I'm going to read a few passages from a chapter called Introduction to Indian Publishing, where she introduces us to the publishing scenario, how the market works. So let me narrate this passage. According to the India Book Market Report, India is the sixth largest publisher in the world and the second largest publisher in the world for English language books. That's huge. Led by educational books, publishing is a $6.76 billion sector expected to grow at an astounding 19.3% until 2020. This was based on a report in 2016. There are over 9,000 publishers publishing around 1 lakh, that is 100,000 books every year. This means that almost 250 books are published every day in India. 55% sales are of English books, 35% of Hindi books, and the rest of regional language books. 65% of English language book sales come from Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, and Kerala. All these make us the world's third largest English book markets, according to the International Publishers Association. This is despite the fact that sales are measured in only a selection of bookshops and exclude some online retailers, notably Amazon. We are also the third largest readers for English books in the world. Contrary to popular perception, on average, Indians spend more time reading than any of their counterparts around the world, according to the World Culture Score Index. This is about 10.5 hours every week, as compared to, say, the Americans who spend 5.5 hours per week reading. According to an article in Financial Times, book sales in mature economies such as Britain and America have stagnated. In India, by contrast, the market has grown 41% since 2011, with 18 million copies sold in English and local languages in 2015, according to the data from Nielsen Bookscan. Literacy in India is rising rapidly from 65% in 2001 to 74% in 2011 and is predicted to reach 90% in 2020. This can only mean more readers wanting to buy more books. Sounds promising, right? Now, the reality check. The publishing industry is deeply fragmented. Distribution is disorganized and piracy is rampant. On top of that, proving my point that almost everyone wants to be a writer. An average publisher receives around 40 to 60 manuscripts a day. This means around 300 manuscripts per week and 1200 manuscripts per month. The chances of your book being picked out of this slush pile are pretty slim, only about 5 to 10%. Yes, almost 90 to 95% of all manuscripts that get sent to publishing houses, they get rejected. So that is the publishing industry's scenario in India. It's huge, it's big, but it's also complicated. A lot of challenges are there. So these are the kind of interesting details you get when you read this book. And this is just the part from the publishing only. You will also get similar advice in the marketing section as well as in the writing and editing section. Now, as I said, there are also a number of essays written by prominent writers. And I thought I would share one of the essays with you, which is written by Shobha De, who's the best-selling author for decades in India. And the essay itself talks about the bestsellers. It's called How to Write Bestsellers for 4 Decades, which is what Shobha De has done literally. So here we go. I'm going to narrate the essay now. Let's talk Turkey. The world's first bestseller was the Bible. It remains a top seller even today. Wonder which canny marketing team marketed and sold it after its first print run? The Bible outsells most commercial books globally. Over centuries, readers have been hooked to this one religious book which comes with a single absorbing tagline: God created Adam and Eve. Sheer brilliance. Try topping it. Go on, give it a go. Bestsellers are born naturally, not constructed in a petri dish. It is not possible to predict the birth of a bestseller or even guess its sex. It comes with its own DNA, and even the world's savviest, canniest analyst cannot clone it. During my long experience as a published author and publisher, I can only pass on this bit of useless advice. Write from your heart, lungs, kidneys, even bladder. Do not waste a moment worrying about your precious book's fate. It is not in your hands. Remember, it is not in your publisher's hands either. There is just one pair of hands that matters: the readers. You, as an author, can never know your reader. You may think you do, but books have an uncanny way of meandering into hands of those whose existence you're not even aware of. Respect the mind of that anonymous reader, the one who has bought your book over millions of other books. Your reader is your God. Pay zero attention to critics. Most don't have the guts to write their own book. Books need guts. Of course, there are critics and critics. Do share glasses of your favorite wine with them, but they will still loathe you. The best critic is just you, only you. If you love your book, others may love it too. If you display diffidence, give in to uncertainty, you are dead. Never apologize for your thoughts and words. Own them. Take criticism on the chin and start your new book instantly. Don't treat your book like a premature baby. Do not mollycoddle or even potty train. Like kids say, shit happens. Let it happen. Books are tougher than you think. They survive. Some even thrive. The good health is not your problem after they leave the womb. They belong to everyone. Books, like street urchins, manage to get ahead and survive against terrible odds. That is the real kick, my dear, watching your urchin conquer the world. Writing a book is a little like making tender love to yourself. You really don't need an extra pair of hands or two brains. You know your G spot. Just get there and get on with the job. Do you count orgasms or create spreadsheets for your matings? You just go ahead and make love, right? So, when in doubt, simply get between those sheets or inside a bathtub and do what you have to. Think of your book as a lover, a sensitive lover, not a demanding beast. The sensual act of writing a book and making ardent love are a lot alike. Both provide unimaginable pleasure and create beautiful memories. What? You don't like sex? Why are you writer? Open a candy store and sell bonbons. And leave bon mots to others.